Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today we have episode 2 of my career mode series. If you guys have missed the last episode, you can see on the screen right now. I'm sorry I don't have the highlights, but I will have them very soon at the beginning of the video. But anyways, if you have missed last episode, you can check it out at the top right hand corner of your screen. Last episode was a really lucky one. Not lucky, it was a good one, and it was lucky as well because we were able to get a very good position, P2 and P3, thanks to the retirement of Hamilton, Verstappen, and the mistake of Valtteri Bottas. This week we are in Bahrain, and we're looking to not do the same thing, of course, but hopefully get a positive result. Hopefully in the top 6, which would be really good, and hopefully ahead of the Ferraris, because I feel like they will be our main rival, and also the Racing Points. But without any further ado, let's get stuck in. Right, here we are then in the main menu. And so this race weekend, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I guess not too much, to be honest. It's not one of my best tracks, but hopefully we'll be able to do something. But you can see here we're in the R&D graph, R&D tree, and we don't have over 1,000 R&D, which is the minimum amount you need to make an upgrade. And we don't even have any money to spend on driver perks, so we got nothing to do pretty much because there's so little time between Australia and Bahrain. There's nothing to do before we actually get stuck into this episode, so there's no intro to be needed because we're already in it. We don't have time. But anyways, here we are then after practice, and we do now have over 1,000 R&D points, so we can spend them on an R&D upgrade. But for some reason, I actually decided to not do it because my idea was, now you can see there that we have 2 air upgrades, and my idea was to buy both of them at the same time, so they would come in at the same time. But I realize now that that is kind of not as more idea, because you gotta just buy them as quickly as you can, because there's a high chance that one of them will fail. So but we don't buy anything. We just, in hindsight, I would have bought something, but we don't buy anything, and so we just saved that 1,500 R&D points for when we actually buy something. But now you can see here we're going into qualifying here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm hoping not for Q3, to be honest. I mean, since we didn't get into Q3 for Australia, I think Q3 here is gonna be even harder. That doesn't mean we're not gonna try, of course, but a nice top 13, top 12 would be already a decent result. So, but here we are then on our first lap into Q1. It was a pretty tidy one, and hopefully we'll get us into Q1 without too many troubles. As we cross the line, what lap time is it gonna be? It's a 126.4, and that should be enough to get us into Q1, as we're now gonna go back into the pits. To speed up the time a little bit, you might hear me a bit less excited. That's because this is the second time I recorded this voiceover. I had a bit of problems recording it the first time, but anyways, so we do get into Q2. P11, Carlos P5 looking good as ever, but it's early times into the qualifying process. This is Q2 lap now, and this was actually, to be honest, a really good lap. It was tidy, it was smooth, it was quick, and I felt really good going around the lap. So yeah, I feel like without any mistakes, we are going to get into Q3 with this lap, which is something I did not expect to bring. But here we go now, and this, you might have understood by the way I was talking, but we do make a mistake. That was a terrible incident. We just got stuck on the curb with our outside tire, and we weren't able to get back on the apex. So yeah, this lap is 100% not gonna get us into Q3. So we're gonna finish the lap just because we need the sector times when we go back out for the second lap. But you can see here as we go into the menus, just 8 minutes with more than 8 minutes remaining, we are already out. Of course, now we're speeding up, and now it's only 6 minutes, but it was 8 minutes and we were already out of Q3. So we're gonna go out for with another set. But you can see here already from this early on that was a really good lap because we're already half a tenth down. But here you lose a huge amount of time. I don't even know what I did on the fast lap to go that faster, but we gain a little bit in the braking zone. But then again, we lose in the exit. And yeah, this was a bit of a scruffy lap when I was here as well. We go a bit off the curb, then of the apex, then we skate across the exit on the curb. So yeah, not a clean lap at all, and we're now 3/10 down. So I feel like if we were in 3/10 down, we would have a much better chance. But I don't even know if we're gonna go in the green. To be honest, I don't know how much time I lost through this section. We're gonna know it now, and we are gonna go in the green. And this is just so annoying because I just need to end. The way I took it right now wasn't the fastest way I could take it, so I just need to take it nice and cautiously that corner. And we were probably gonna make it into Q2 because right now we would be doing probably a 26. We probably would have done a 26.2, but we only did 26.4 here, and that is not gonna be enough to qualify. You can see it was P12. I mean, like I said, I wanted top 12, but after that lap, I was kind of disappointed that we only got a top 12. But we can't dwell on this too much. Let's go to the race.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Sainz, Perez, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll, Ocon, the Rainmaster, Daniel Kvyat and Gasly, Grosjean, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Right, here we are now in the pit lane, and we're going to do an undercut. We're going to pit on lap 5. I wasn't sure if to pit on lap 4 or 5, but I said let's go lap 5 because if I pit lap 4 maybe it would have been too long of a stint in the mediums. Once again, I'm not going to go with the starting medium strategy because it's just not what I like to do. But here we go then, 2-5, red lights, and away we go for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's see if we can do something good today. We get a beautiful start. Already looking down inside of the show, I'm going to send a massive dive. And here you might be a little bit, like, you might say it was a bit aggressive for me, but I thought that Sainz was not going side by side with anyone. Then he went side by side with Ricciardo after, after in the second section of turn 1 he did go side by side. But like before that, I had no way of knowing that he was going to go side by side, so I had to send it, and I committed. But anyways, we need to go back to the present because Sainz made a beautiful move on Ricciardo. I was thinking to make a move on him, but I had no chance because he made the move on Ricciardo, and he actually slowed him down massively, so we're going to be able to make a move on him as well. So we're just following our teammate. We squeezed him a little bit there, Ricciardo, because I got like a wave of understeer through there. It wasn't my intent to squeeze him like that. We just got a massive amount of understeer. So yeah, but now let's we're now gonna start pretty much following Sainz in his overtake. I wanted to overtake him, but as the race went on, I realized I didn't have the space. But here we go now. I didn't have lap 1. This is when I tried to overtake him. The only moment when I really tried to overtake him. But it kind of, well, I don't want to say backfired because it actually ended up helping me. But in the first stage, it backfired because we're now pushing him to go defensive. We know we can make them, so we're gonna actually try to go around the side. But he actually sends a move down the side of Albon, so he gains one instead of losing one. But then it actually backfired. Well, it actually helps us. We're actually gonna follow him through and overtake Albon as well. We're just squeezing Albon in a way that he doesn't get too much of a slipstream, and then we just need to nip it down the inside. Pretty easy move, squeeze him out, and that's up into P7. So yeah, pretty good start. P11 to P12 to P7, 5 pace gain. It's not like the Australia start, but that's because I'm just not as confident here than I would like it was in Australia. So, and also in Australia, you know, there's 2 places to make big dives, turn 1 and then turn 3. Well, here there's only turn 1, but you can see here just getting a bit skating on the curb on the exit of lap 2, getting into lap 3, and you can see that I just don't have the pace of, I just don't have Science's pace. So yeah, my goal in this first stint is to just stay within Science's DRS. So then hopefully in the second stage of in the second stint we'll be able to maybe do a bit of an undercut and overtake him through there, because staying in the DRS is crucial. But now in this lap you can see he is kind of close to the Ferrari, and I think Vettel here tried to make a bit of a move on Leclerc, but it didn't work, so he just messed up his line a bit, and that really helps us get back in the pack a little bit. And I thought about trying to make a move like maybe the lap after, but we're pitting in 2 laps, so there's not really any point to make a move, waste ourselves time. You can see how close we're getting, but there's no point to make a move, waste ourselves time when we're pitting so close anyway. So I mean, in so little time anyway. So we're just gonna hold off on it and pit, and just not try to go. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, and we're not gonna lose any time, then we're gonna make the move. But I don't think either of those things are gonna happen. So here we go now. This is we're actually kind of close here on Science. I mean, this is actually the only time I'm gonna try to really make a move, because he lost here in the exit. But you can see here he's just really fast in a straight. So there's no point. There's no point wasting all my ERS just trying to make a move on Science, which will only lose me time before I have to make a pit stop. So we're just gonna stay behind them, be patient, and we're hopefully gonna overtake him in the pits. That's the hope, at least. So yeah, we're pitting this lap. Hopefully we're the only one pitting, because that will get us a big undercut on everyone else. But as we move on to the end of this lap, Beto is actually also going to pit. You can see him coming in. I didn't expect this, and also Ricardo behind us. I don't know. I didn't expect this at all. I don't know if it's like strategical from the AI. I just didn't expect this, but it's nice to see the AI taking risks. But this actually does not help us, because we get a little bit held up there by Vettel there, and that made us lose quite a bit of time, I think. Not that much, but it did make us lose a bit of time. So here we go then. Exiting the pit lane. And now what we're going to do is just try to go as fast as we can, like any other undercut that exists. We have to go as fast as we can, hopefully be able to make a move on Science. And hopefully maybe Leclerc, to be honest though, the only person I was really, the 2 people I was really looking to make an undercut on was Science and Vettel, but Vettel pitted now. So we're just going to maybe have a look at getting Science. But oh, what's going on? Perez out. Is that a safety or a virtual safety car? It's a safety car. Stroll's out, Perez out. Oh my goodness. There is a safety car here, and you can see I'm shocked as I'm 2 seconds behind the Delta. But this is very similar to what happened in Australia. As we tried to get a movie on Raikkonen, but we can't. We were getting penalized, so we have to pin back through. But this is exactly the same as what happened in Australia, I guess you could say. Because in Australia we had pitted, and then the safety car came out on the lap that we pitted, and so we lost from that. And same thing from here, we lose from that. But who was it? And look, you can see there on the mini-map, on the pit stops, 2 top team cars, I think, got involved in that. It was Bottas and Albon, so Bottas maybe ruining his race again. But maybe it was a mistake, because I think he was in the lead. So yeah, Bottas making another mistake again for the second race in a row. Of course, last race he went straight on when we were fighting. But here we are now looking at Bottas. You can see he had a pretty hefty lead over the guys behind. But oh, I think I know what happened here. He touched the curb there. Yeah, and just spun it like any AI would. But then here, this is incredible, to be honest. I've never seen this happen. But he tries to get back through, and the AI think that he's already back there. And you can see everyone just splows, because everyone just stops, because they think that he's trying to get back through. And so they want to let him through. But then the people behind can't see that, so they just run straight into the back of the other AI who stopped. So this is a replay from my teammate. You can see him just stopping into it, now just go back through the other people. And Ocon is the first to actually stop. And you can hear Stroll just absolutely pile drives his teammate. You can see here he speeds up because he thinks there's an opening, but then his teammate thinks the same thing. So yeah, that Albon there losing his front wing. This is once again Perez was sped up and then, you know, got DNF as well. I don't know how Stroll DNF because he wasn't DNF there, so I didn't get a review from that. But you can see everyone just power driving into one another because they think because the Ocon stopped in the first place because he thought that he needed to stop for Bottas. So here's Latifi now just going through all the ghost cars, and that's pretty big hefty collision there. I've never seen this happen, to be honest. I've never ever seen this happen, so it's incredible. But yeah, so this is back up to us now, and so we get no undercut on Sainz. You only get the position from the position from the fact that Bottas you know, had to pit for you know, he was stuck in all the traffic. He caused the collision in the first place, so. But we only had 2 DNFs, which is kind of weird because Lance didn't seem to DNF, and then the other people, a lot of people ghosted. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how Lance DNF'd. I don't know how the people who were ghosting unghosted, but we just focus on the race at this point. Here we go then. It's the restart here, and we're hoping to maybe make pounce on Vettel. You can see here just lifting off a little bit, making sure we don't overtake him before the green flag, but you can see he's getting side by side with him like we did with Bottas. A bit of a harder overtake this one because he has got slipstream, but we're going to absolutely send one. And I saw the opening and I just sent it on Sainz as well because, you know, you got to take the occasion, you got to take what you get, and so we do make, we got to, okay, let me rephrase that. You have to go for a gap that exists, because if you don't go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver, in the words of the best racing driver that ever existed. So, you know, I actually don't know who I mean by that. It's obviously Ayrton Senna, but so we went for a gap, it existed, we went for it, and we got it. So I'm in a P4, and I was trying to chase after Leclerc as well, but as you can see here, we're already a second off him, and I realized that there's no point. It's like almost with Albon in the Australia episode. There's no point wasting our ERS because we've got and our fuel on catching the person ahead, because we've got people behind us who will definitely be able to attack us. Last race it was Bottas. This race it was Sainz. Of course, Sainz not as big of a threat as maybe Bottas, but still he's a pretty big threat because I know he's faster than me. So we're just gonna, you know, I could play the team game and let him go and let him try to catch up to Leclerc, but I'm not gonna do that. But you can see here that we actually do not have the DRS anymore. We got a DRS fault, so that's pretty big because my tactics usually are to let the person go before the detection point, so then I have DRS again, but I can't do that anymore. Of course, there is no DRS now anyways because we just got right from the safety car, but when there would have been, I can't do it anymore, so that tactic's gone out the window until they fix it. But what I was saying is I'm not going to play the team, I'm not going to let him go because he's already got 2.4 seconds of a lead, and, you know, by the time I thought of letting him go, it was never going to work. So yeah, you can see it just checking the DRS again, but there's not really any point to worry about it too much. But here, my intention was of doing the same thing we did with Bottas, so I'm going to let Sainz go, then I'm going to squeeze him to the inside and then go for a switchback. But eventually I don't squeeze him enough, so I actually think about going for the outside. But we make contact, we lose time, and he's got us. My tactic has just absolutely failed me completely. He's got the move on us, he's up in a P4 and we're down to P5. So, big mistake from me, I'll admit it. Disappointed about making such a mistake because I usually am really good at defending, but I just let Sainz go without fighting him at all. So technically I did play the team game. But you can see here we have depleted a lot of our ERS now. Should have saved it for this straight, but I don't know why I didn't. So now we're going to absolutely use every single bit of it we can. But you can already tell we're already at 10%. We're not going to be able to catch him up this lap. Here we go now, just trying to get closer to him, but we just can't. And it was so frustrating because I knew that as laps went on, I was never going to be able to overtake him. I needed to overtake him on this straight. I used too much ERS on the lap, and, you know, we're not gonna. It's gonna be really tough to overtake. Maybe we will. If we'll just have to hope for a mistake. But you can see here once again, lap 12, and this lap I'm not even gonna bother using the ERS in the main straight because we only got 10% anyways, 12%. So we're gonna try to not use it and hopefully have more in the next straight. But as more laps go on, the problem is that I'm not. If I always kept the same gap to Sainz, if Sainz wasn't getting away from me, then this tactic would work. But every single lap, he's getting away from me more and more, and I just can't do anything about it. And we're now end of lap 13, and we just edge into the DRS zone. We get on the curb, we get a terrible exit. Really scruffy driving for me, to be honest here. Not happy with how I've been driving, because I feel like if I drove a little bit cleaner and more calm as well, because when you get overtaken, you just like are in a rush to go as fast as you can. You just throw the car in always. At least that's what happens for me. And so, yeah, I drive a lot scruffy in this final sector, like I did there. You know, I was looking for a mistake for Sainz, but then we really actually wanted to make a mistake in the final lap. Managed to hold off Vettel, who actually makes a mistake there. But yeah, like I said, not the best race I've ever done, because I've let Sainz go that easily. You know, if there was a nice little bit of fighting, and that way he kept the position, then yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. You know, he fought hard, and he kept it, but just letting him go like that just didn't feel like the thing that I would do. Still though, we're still in the lead of both championships, because you know, we finished second, and then the person who finished first probably didn't score any points today. So, and then of course in the constructors, a lot of the top 10 cars had DNF'd in previous and this race, and we had no DNFs yet. So still in both titles, got the driver of the day. So can't complain. It was still a really good race, but could have been one position better.
Yes, another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And I could see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Right, so, like I said, could have been one position better, but I'm still not complaining. It's a really good race still. From P11, from P12 to P5, 7th position gain. Could have been 8, like I said. You know, we did the best. We did almost the best we could. But still, you know, you can't always you know, fulfill to the max your potentials in the race, and we got still a really good position. You can see here we keep the lead, actually get the lead, my bad. We get the lead from Albon. You see 1 point ahead of Albon, and Sainz is also tied for second place. There are 3 people, Sainz, Leclerc, and Albon, for second place, and I'm leading in a McLaren. You would have never thought you would see the first Mercedes in P4 in both the drivers and the constructor standings. We are leading now by 10 points. Of course, this is not going to keep going. I'm not planning to win the championship, but you know, I did say in my interview that I was aiming for the championship, and we are still leading it by race 2. Probably not going to be leading it by next race, but it isn't Vietnam, one of my favorite tracks, so you never know, you know. But now let's go to an interview with Claire then.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective.
Yes, it was.
Let's have yours.
Oh yeah.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Once again, we are going to praise the engine, because we need to improve on that one.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
Here we are going to boost the team acclaim, or my acclaim, by praising the team.
Appreciate your time.
So Claire didn't ask too many questions today. I actually appreciate that. Didn't feel like answering too many, you know. It's hard not being a little bit salty, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, and we still, like I said, it was still a really good race. Positive outcome to the race, but that has been it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Next episode, Vietnam, hoping for a very good result. But until next time, guys, goodbye.